Hey everyone, ready to dive into something pretty interesting.
Yeah, should be fun.
We're going to be looking at something you don't really think about every day.
Mm-hmm.
The Taylor Swift effect on the NFL.
Right.
You might be thinking,
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
Sure.
And that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
To figure it all out.
Yep.
We've got a couple of sources for this deep dive.
Okay.
An Al Jazeera article and a blog post from the Washington Women in Public Relations.
So good.
So, by the end of this,
Yeah.
you'll know how Taylor Swift gave the NFL a boost
Okay.
and why it matters.
Interesting.
From like a business angle,
Right.
marketing, and even culturally.
It's a great example of how something that seems totally separate from an industry can have like a huge impact.
Totally.
Yeah.
So like everyone knows the story.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift starts dating Travis Kelce, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
What happened after that?
Oh, man. It was like a cultural earthquake.
Wow.
You had all these Swifties who were, really passionate fans.
Yeah.
Suddenly, they all cared about football.
Interesting.
And it wasn't just like a small group.
Right.
It was a ton of new people watching the NFL.
Yeah, the Al Jazeera article mentions that overall NFL viewership went up by 7%.
Wow.
But for women, it was even higher.
Okay.
9%.
That's significant.
Yeah, and during that Chiefs and Bears game when Switch was there, female viewership for ages 18 to 49 went up by 63%.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like maybe the NFL didn't realize how influential fandoms like the Swifties could be.
It's possible.
The NFL has wanted to appeal to younger people and women for years.
For sure.
But this wasn't some marketing campaign.
Right.
This just happened naturally.
Yeah, totally different.
So how did the NFL use this sudden wave of interest?
Well, they definitely used it to their advantage on social media.
Okay.
Do you remember how the NFL's official Twitter...
Well, X, right, changed their name to Taylor was here after she went to that first game.
I do. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a smart move. Acknowledged that she was there and got her fans talking.
It wasn't just acknowledging her, though.
No.
Okay.
It was about realizing the power of her fans.
Right.
They weren't just watching anymore. They were participating,
Yeah.
talking about it, creating trends.
Exactly.
And the NFL knew that.
Yeah.
They saw a way to reach these fans
Yeah.
and maybe even turn them into football fans for good.
Okay, so we've got tons of new viewers.
Yeah.
A lot of them are Swifties,
Right.
but views don't necessarily mean money, right?
True.
Did this whole Taylor Swift effect actually make a difference to the NFL's bottom line?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That blog post from the Washington Women in Public Relations mentioned some pretty crazy numbers.
Really?
For example, sales for Travis Kelce's jersey went up by 400%.
After Swift started going to the games.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So he became one of the top 5 most popular jerseys. Huh.
You can't ignore that.
That's pretty wild.
Yes.
A 400% increase.
Yeah.
Clearly she has a huge influence.
Sure.
But did it go beyond just selling Kelsey's stuff?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these new fans.
Right.
Most of them don't know much about football.
Uh-huh.
They're going to want to learn more
Yeah.
about the game, the players, everything.
Makes sense.
And what better way to do that
Yeah.
than through a podcast
Okay.
hosted by their favorite singer's boyfriend?
You're talking about the New Heights podcast.
Exactly.
Hosted by Travis and his brother Jason.
Right.
That podcast became #1 on Apple's charts.
It did.
It can't be a coincidence, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Swift going to games brought a whole new audience to that podcast.
Uh-huh.
And the Kelce brothers, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They even started a segment called No Dumb Questions,
Right.
specifically for new fans.
That's smart.
A lot of them Swifties.
Yeah.
Who wanted to learn about football.
So the NFL got more viewers, sold more merch,
Yep.
and even saw more engagement on platforms like podcasts.
Exactly.
And it wasn't just the NFL and the Kelces who benefited.
Right.
Remember that Kels jacket
Oh, yeah.
designed by Kristen Jussick, Kyle Jussick's wife?
Mm-hmm.
Swift was seen wearing it,
Right.
and suddenly it was super popular.
That's amazing.
Shows how the Swift bump, as some call it, affected other people too.
Even those not directly involved.
Yeah. It's like everything she touches turns to gold.
It really is.
Even Donna Kelce.
Travis's mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Got a deal with Ziploc
I saw that.
after she was seen with leftovers in one of their bags at a game.
It's crazy
It really is.
how one small connection can have such a big impact.
Yeah, but it's not just stories, right?
No, not at all.
Apex Marketing estimated that Swift brought an extra $331.5 million in brand value to the Chiefs and the NFL.
Yeah, that's serious money.
Okay, so now we're talking serious money.
Right.
What does brand value even mean?
Well, it's basically how much a brand is worth.
Okay.
Based on things like its reputation, customer loyalty,
right,
and how valuable people think it is.
Okay.
In this case,
yeah.
Swift being associated with the NFL and the Chiefs specifically made them look better, got them more attention, and probably made them more appealing to a wider audience.
Right.
All of that increases their brand value.
So it's not just about the immediate money from tickets and merch.
No.
Yeah.
It's about the long-term effect on their image and how it helps them get sponsors, partners, and of course fans.
This is all really interesting.
It is.
But it also raises some questions.
Like what?
Like, can this kind of success last? Can the NFL keep relying on celebrities or these random cultural moments to keep growing and staying popular?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And one that we'll definitely explore more in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll look at the complexities of fandom, the challenges of being authentic, and what this Taylor Swift effect might mean in the long run.
Sounds like we have a lot more to unpack.
We do.
We'll be back in a bit to keep going with this fascinating topic.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, it's important to remember that the Taylor Swift effect isn't just about, like, jerseys and podcasts.
Yeah.
It's about something bigger.
Okay, I'm listening.
The way fandom's changing.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, in the past, being a fan meant you just watched or listened. But now fans want to be involved.
Okay.
They want to have a say.
Right.
They want to feel like they're part of something.
So you're saying the NFL hit the jackpot with Swifties?
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
They're known for being really active fans. Swifties are really good at getting together online, sharing their opinions, and even changing things.
Interesting.
When Swift started going to games, they didn't just watch.
Right.
They tweeted, made memes. They even started learning about football.
Wow.
Just to understand what she was into.
That's dedication.
It is.
And that No Dumb Questions segment on the New Heights podcast, that's a perfect example of how the Kelce brothers catered to these new fans.
Exactly. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it wasn't just about getting more viewers.
Right.
It was about making them feel welcome, giving them a place to learn and be part of it.
But can this last?
That's a good question.
Can the NFL just do this with any celebrity or fandom?
It's tricky.
Yeah.
The Taylor Swift effect worked because it felt real.
Right.
Swift genuinely seemed interested in football.
Yeah.
That's what connected with her fans. So the NFL can't just use a celebrity to sell stuff and expect the same results.
No, not really.
It's not about creating hype.
Right.
It's about understanding fans and making real connections.
Exactly.
That reminds me of what the Washington Women in Public Relations blog said about New Balance sneakers. Sales went up after Swift was seen wearing their 550s.
Right.
It wasn't an ad or anything. It was just her style.
And that's what made it work.
Exactly.
It shows that being genuine matters.
Especially these days when everything's an ad.
Totally.
People, especially younger people, can tell when something's fake.
They can.
They want to support things they believe in.
Absolutely.
So how does the NFL deal with this new world of fandom?
It's tough.
Yeah.
How do they use these trends without being fake?
Yeah.
And without upsetting their loyal fans?
It's a balancing act.
It is.
They can't just focus on new fans and ignore their old ones.
Exactly.
That's where their overall strategy comes in. We talked about how they've been trying to appeal to more people with those partnerships with fashion brands, artists, musicians like Drake's OVO label, and rappers like Benny the Butcher and Lil Wayne.
Those are all different from the Taylor Swift effect.
True.
But they have the same goal.
To reach more people and stay relevant. But those partnerships, they seem more like marketing.
Right.
The Taylor Swift effect just happened.
Exactly.
So how do they bridge that gap?
Wow.
How do they stay authentic while still doing these partnerships?
It's about being smart.
Okay.
Making sure each partnership makes sense.
Right.
Fits their values and connects with the people they're trying to reach.
They have to ask themselves, does this feel real? Does it benefit our fans?
Right.
Does it show who we are?
Those are the important questions.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
It seems like the NFL is in uncharted territory.
They are.
There's no guidebook for this kind of thing.
That's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a live experiment.
Right.
In how to deal with changing fandom, brand partnerships, and how culture influences things.
There's definitely risk involved.
For sure.
They could lose their old fans or seem fake, but there's also a lot to gain.
Absolutely.
They could reach more people, attract new fans, and become even more popular.
It's a high-stakes game.
It is.
So where do we go from here?
Yeah, what can the NFL and other organizations learn from this?
Well, I think the big lesson here is that being real matters.
Right.
People can tell when you're faking it.
They can.
So maybe instead of trying to create these viral moments, organizations should focus on building real connections and engagement.
It's about creating communities, not just getting views.
It's about understanding your audience, what they care about, and giving them something that means something to them. That's a powerful idea.
It is.
And it goes beyond just football.
Definitely.
For any brand or organization trying to connect with people in today's world.
It's a complex world out there.
It is.
So the Taylor Swift effect wasn't some planned campaign. It was just a cultural moment that people connected with.
And the NFL was smart enough to use it.
Makes you wonder what other unexpected connections are out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are tons.
What other things could happen?
Who knows?
That could have this kind of impact.
That's the exciting part.
It is?
We don't know.
Right.
But that's also what's so cool. We live in a time where everything's connected.
Definitely.
The lines between industries, cultures, everything is blurred. And that opens up so many possibilities for new ideas, for creativity, for people to connect in new ways.
So what should our listeners take away from all of this?
I think embrace the unexpected.
Okay.
Be open to new connections.
Yeah.
And most importantly, build real relationships with your audience.
Whoever they are.
Exactly.
Because when everyone's fighting for attention, a genuine connection, that's what really matters.
You said it perfectly.
Thanks.
And on that note,
I
think we've covered a lot about the Taylor Swift effect.
We have.
Hopefully this has given you some new things to think about.
I hope so too.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep exploring, keep connecting, keep diving deep.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah.
And the big question is this Taylor Swift effect just a moment in time?
Yeah.
Or is it a bigger change?
A shift.
Yeah, in how we connect with entertainment and brands.
It really makes you think,
It does.
On the surface.
Yeah.
It seems like the perfect combo.
Right.
Celebrity, sports, passionate fans.
All of that.
But maybe there's something deeper going on.
Like what?
Well, we were talking about it before.
Right.
People, especially young people, they want authenticity.
Right.
It's not just about buying stuff or watching games anymore.
It's more than that.
It's about buying into something.
Okay.
A story, a community, values.
I see what you mean.
Think about the NFL sponsorships.
Okay.
They made $2.35 billion this season.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a 15% increase from last year.
So they're doing well.
They are.
Obviously, we can't say it's all because of Swift.
No.
But it shows that brands that connect with cultural moments and engage with fans
in a real way.
Right. They're the ones that are doing well.
Exactly.
So it's not just about being famous.
No, it's about connecting with something deeper.
I get it.
Swift being at those games.
Yeah.
It created a story that her fans loved. It wasn't just football.
Right.
It was about love, loyalty, shared experiences.
All that people connect with emotionally.
Exactly.
Like Donna Kelce.
Oh, yeah.
Travis's mom with her homemade jerseys, going to all her son's games.
She was great.
It became this symbol of family and dedication.
It went beyond just football.
It did.
It's amazing how a small thing like that can grab everyone's attention and become part of something bigger.
And it proves that you can't fake authenticity.
Nope.
It has to be real.
It could.
Shared values, shared experiences.
Things that resonate with people.
Companies that try to force it, they're going to fail.
I think so.
People can see right through that.
They can.
So how can organizations use this power of real connection?
Well, what's the secret?
I don't know if there's a secret formula.
Okay.
But there are some important things.
Like what?
First, you got to know your audience.
Not just like their age or where they live.
Right. It's more than that.
Okay.
It's about their values, their interests, what they want.
What they're passionate about.
Yeah, what matters to them.
So go deeper.
I really understand them.
And be ready to change. This Taylor Swift effect shows us.
What does it show us?
That you have to be flexible.
Okay.
Open to new opportunities.
You're saying the NFL,
Yes.
even though it's huge and established, was pretty quick to react to this cultural moment?
They saw the potential
Uh-huh.
and changed their plans.
And they didn't just chase trends.
No.
They listened to their audience.
Right.
They welcomed new fans and changed their message
to fit this new situation.
Like that no dumb questions segment we talked about that shows how they adapted.
They knew that a lot of new fans didn't know football.
Right.
So they made content just for them.
It's a great example of how organizations can connect with people.
For sure.
So maybe it's not about controlling everything. Maybe it's about being more responsive, more adaptable, understanding what your audience wants and needs.
I think that's a big takeaway from this whole deep dive.
It is.
The Taylor Swift effect wasn't planned.
Right.
It just happened.
It was a cultural moment that resonated with people.
And the NFL was smart enough to use it.
Makes you think.
What does it make you think?
What other unexpected connections are out there?
Oh, I'm sure there were tons.
What other things could create this kind of impact?
That's what's so exciting.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it.
I like that.
We live in a time where everything's connected.
It really is.
Industries, cultures, interests, it's all blending together.
It's true.
And that creates so many possibilities.
So many.
For new ideas, for creativity, for connections.
So what's the message for our listeners today?
Embrace the unexpected.
Okay.
Be open to new connections.
Be open.
And most importantly, build real relationships with your audience.
Doesn't matter who they are.
Exactly.
Because in a world where everyone's fighting for attention, genuine connection, that's what really makes a difference.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the Taylor Swift effect.
It does.
Hope you all got some new ideas from this.
I hope so.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep connecting.
And keep diving deep.